Welcome to Shades of Brown. This highlights on the many issues affecting Africans and people of African descent. I'm your host, Ramatu Adao Chikliye. Hi guys. So for the past few weeks, more than a month even, I haven't been able to post up any new stuff because I felt that I didn't have a camera, and as such, there was no point putting out new content. But then again, my computer has a camera, and even though the image is grainy, it's better I have content going than having my page completely down because of a camera. But anyway, that's by the side. Today, I'm trying to look at something that has been building up in me for over a month now. It's been very hard being a Nigerian woman, for the past 1 month. It started for me with LD, the musician, coming against Amber Rosie's slut walk. Well, first and foremost, he didn't even do his research to find out what slut walk is, what it's about, why it's done. He just saw it as hoes trying to be role models for younger girls, and I wish he had done his research to find out what slut walk is about. But it was surprising because he suddenly grew a conscience now that he has daughters, and it's terrible because many men are like that. Once they have daughters, they suddenly care about the issues that affect women. Like, okay, do we not matter if you do not have daughters or stuff like that? And I thought about a lot of things concerning what LD said. He had a lot of backlash. Many women wondered a man who would define women as hoes. Some of them came hard at him. Some people agreed with him, true, but he received a lot of backlash though, and I think he was really in the wrong. He should have done his research and then making broad statements like there are no shows on TV telling girls to be better when there's Black Girls Rock. There's so many shows even in Nigeria, and so it just making broad statements without facts, no. And then there was the issue of the forceful marriage of Habiba Isiaku, who is a 14-year-old girl from Katsina State. She was supposedly married off to the Emir of Katsina State, Alhaji Abdulmumin Kabir, and it was horrible because we're in 2016 and we still have scenarios of young girls being married off to older men. This girl's a minor. She's an underage girl. She has no reason getting married. But while all of that was going on, people came against the emir, and the Emirate Council of Katsina State released a statement saying that they had the girl. They asked her 3 questions, one of which was if she was forced to convert to Islam, which was one of the big problems a lot of people saw, and she said no. And that if she was forced to marry the emir, and she said no. And that if she had been seeing her period, and she said yes. And that for them, that was grounds for marriage according to the Islamic religion. But then you begin to wonder, like, this girl is a Christian girl, and she was taken. According to her father, she was abducted by a certain Jemilu guy who took her away from her school, government senior secondary school, Katsina, and then she was married off to the emir. Now, it's horrible because if the same thing had been done to, say, a Muslim family, and the girl was taken and given off to a Christian man to marry off, and there wouldn't have been room for these questions to be asked. And secondly, you don't take someone's child and marry her off and say either she was not forced. She's a minor. She doesn't have a mind of her own. Her parents should be able to direct the path that her life takes until she's 18. So I was really angry about all of that, and the silence from most of our leaders, from the presidency down to it was horrible to imagine that we are in a country where someone can do something like this and get away with it. But then again, if you've lived in northern Nigeria like I have, you know that it's very, very commonplace. But then we need to stop it. We need, just like the Emir of Kano said, that we need to move from that point. And he's also an Islamic scholar. He's also an Islamic leader, and he said that they had to move with the times and allow girls marry at 18 or above. So forcing this girl to get married, and then there's silence right now, probably because he's an emir. Nobody is going against him. Nobody's trying to bring him to book. It is a huge problem in this country. And when we thought things couldn't get better, the release of the some of the girls that were taken from Chibok to by Boko Haram was good news. Everyone was happy. But then there was a media frenzy that I felt was unnecessary. There was this desire to push them in the cameras, push them in the forefront of what was going on. While it might be good, it was important for the world and even our president to realize that these girls had been in captivity for over 900 days. They had been with one of the worst terrorist groups in Nigeria for over 100 days, and they were immediately tossed into the eye of the media. The release could have been done, meetings could have been done, but having these girls as, you know, how do I describe it without stepping on certain toes? In my view, I felt putting them out for everyone to see was too early. It was something that they should have waited to do. But then again, as much as there was media frenzy, there was nothing that was said that was going to be clearly done to help these girls rehabilitate themselves and all of that. So I felt that the media frenzy should have been about that rather than putting the girls out there for the whole world to see and for the whole world to critique and all of that. I really didn't like that. And then, talking of our president, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, called his wife, described his wife as belonging to the other room, being the bedroom, and maybe a euphemism for the bedroom, the sitting room, and the kitchen. And he said this in Germany, that has one of the world's most powerful leaders, not just because she's a woman, but because she's one of the most powerful leaders. And he said that right there to her. Now, this was prompted as a result of the fact that the First Lady, she says she isn't the First Lady, Aisha Buhari, said she gave an interview to the BBC, and then she critiqued her husband's method of governance. And so he described her as belonging to the other room, to the kitchen. And it was horrible because his media aide, Garba Shehu, said that it was a joke. And our president came up and said it was not a joke, that he meant exactly what he said. So you begin to wonder what happens to a country that has a president that can say something like that on an international stage and think it is okay. I just begin to imagine. But what is even more horrible about that story is that a certain Sheikh Ismail Ilyasu Mangu in Kano, who is a leader of thousands in a mosque, and he said the First Lady should be arrested for daring to speak against her husband. So being a woman in Nigeria it's not something to write home about. And to make matters worse, we now have the issue of people not understanding the clear difference between feminism and misandry. And you just wonder, like, don't you know what a dictionary is? Or don't you know what Google is? And so as a result, I decided to do this to help ladies, like me, who are tired of the entire system, to see how they can just ignore the nonsense that you can find many times on social media. And so I have a couple of points, basically 5 points to help women deal with the horrible people that we have on social media. One is, once you see some of those nonsense going on, just scroll past, because there are people who are completely stupid online. There are people who have no understanding of anything, and their opinions are just deliberately stupid. So scroll past. And if that doesn't work, the next one might. That's if these people come into your mentions, they come and start talking trash in your mentions, ignore. Because if you don't, you might just be putting yourself in a whole lot of drama that is not even necessary in the slightest bit. And keep pushing for the rights, gender equality, the rights of girls, the rights of women, and even if what you can do is just online activism, do it. If what you can do is more than that, that's on hand activism, just do it. Keep trying to push, because if we become tired, if we become angry, if we say, oh, these people will never get us, in truth they will never get us. The strides we are making, we need to keep trying to make sure that they last, that they are effective, and hopefully something good is going to come out of it. And I think women should keep educating themselves on issues that affect us, because if we don't, nobody's going to care. We are the only ones that can push for what we need and what can be done for us as individuals of this country. And finally, never apologize for being a woman. I mean, I'm proud that I'm a woman. I love the fact that I'm a woman, and I don't see why I should apologize to somebody who thinks that I shouldn't have an opinion, I shouldn't have views, I shouldn't believe in anything, I should just follow what he thinks. I don't have that energy. So just never apologize for being a woman. Keep fighting for our rights. And who knows, someday soon, I believe, someday soon, we'll be able to get rid of the nonsense that is the things that happen in this country. Honestly, I'm tired, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to make sure that I keep giving out my voice in support of gender equality. That's about it on the blog today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
That's all for this week. Subscribe to the channel for more of Shades of Brown. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Ochekliye Ramatoada. I'm on Facebook at Ochekliye Ramatoada, on Twitter at Remimah, that is at RAMIMAH, and on Instagram at Miss_Remimah. You can also follow my blog at www.shadesofbrownnigeria.blogspot.com. For inquiries, mail me at ochekliyeramatoada@gmail.com or ramatoadaochekliye@yahoo.com. Talk to you next time. Bye.